I've decided to make this video because somebody that I work with, every time something about the Bible comes up, not that he does a lot, but every time, without fail, he goes out of his way to tell me how he thinks it's a load of rubbish and there's nothing in it of any value whatsoever. So I just made this short video just to make the point that he's wrong. No matter what you believe, he's wrong. The parable of the wise and foolish builders, also known as the parable of the house on the rock, is a story told by Jesus in the Bible, Matthew 7:24-27. The story goes as follows. A man built his house on a rock, and when the rains came and the floods rose, the house stood firm. Another man built his house on sand, and when the rains came, the floods rose, and the house fell and was destroyed. The moral of the story is that those who build their lives on strong foundations, such as following the teachings of Jesus and living a good and moral life, will weather the storms of life and ultimately be saved. Those who do not build their lives on strong foundations will fall when life's difficulties come along. The parable of the Good Samaritan. A man was going from Jerusalem to Jericho when he was attacked by robbers. They stripped him of his clothes, beat him, and went away, leaving him half dead. A priest happened to be going down the same road. When he saw the man, he passed by on the other side. So too did the Levite, when he came to the place and saw him, passed by on the other side. But the Samaritan, as he travelled, when he came where the man was, and when he saw him, he took pity on him, and went to him, and bandaged his wounds, pouring on oil and wine. Then he put the man on his own donkey, brought him to an inn, took care of him. The next day he took out 2 denarii and gave them to the innkeeper. "Look after him," he said, "and when I return, I will reimburse you for any extra expense you may have." The lesson of the parable is that true love and compassion are shown through actions, not just words or intentions. The Good Samaritan, who was considered an outsider and enemy by the Jews, showed more compassion and love for the injured man than the religious leaders who passed by. The parable teaches that anyone can be a neighbour, and that we should love and help others regardless of their background or social status. The parable of the Good Shepherd. I am the Good Shepherd, and I know my sheep, and my sheep know me. Just as the Father knows me, and I know the Father, and I lay down my life for the sheep. I love other sheep that are not of the sheep pen. I must bring them also. They too will listen to my voice, and there will be one flock and one shepherd. The lesson of the parable is that Jesus is the Good Shepherd who lays down his life for his sheep or his followers. He knows them intimately and they know him. He is willing to sacrifice himself for their safety and well-being. It is also illustrated that the unity and harmony that Jesus wants to bring among all people, not just among the Jews, but among all people. The parable also highlights the idea of a personal relationship with Jesus as a good shepherd who guides and protects his followers. So, like I said, I'm just trying to show this person. Well, he probably won't see this video actually, and it's nothing personal against him. It's a very popular to be anti-Christian in these times. So I don't blame him. People have been programmed. You know, you have to believe the popular position, don't you? Otherwise, you know, there's something wrong with you. Well, I could never be like that. That's not the way I am. I either believe something or I don't, and if I don't believe it, I'm not going to pretend that I do, and if I do believe it, I'm not going to pretend that I don't. It's just the way I am. And I'm not changing for anybody, and anybody who doesn't like it, that's your problem, not mine. But anyway. So this is the story of Jesus stopping the stoning of a woman caught in adultery. Is found in the Gospel of John, chapter 8, verse 1-11. The passage reads as follows. But Jesus went to the Mount of Olives at dawn. He appeared again in the temple courts, where all the people gathered around him, and he sat down to teach them. The teachers of the law and the Pharisees. I'll start that again. Came out wrong. when he sat down to teach them. The teachers of the law and the Pharisees brought in a woman caught in adultery. They made her stand before the group and said to Jesus, "Teacher, this woman was caught in the act of adultery. In the law, Moses commands us to stone such women. And now what do you say?" They were using this question as a trap in order to have a basis for accusing him. But Jesus sat down and started to write on the ground with his finger. When they kept on questioning him, he straightened up and said to them, Let any one of you who is without sin be the first to throw a stone at her." Again he stooped down and wrote on the ground. At this, those who heard began to go away, one at a time, the older ones first, until only Jesus was left with the woman, still standing there. Jesus straightened up and asked her, "Woman, where are they? Has no one condemned you?" "No, sir," she said. "Then neither do I condemn you," Jesus declared. Go now and leave your life of sin." So, the moral of this story is that Jesus teaches forgiveness and mercy rather than condemnation and punishment. He challenges the crowd's desire to stone a woman and instead calls for self-reflection and humility by asking, "Let any one of you who is without sin be the first to throw a stone at her." The story teaches that we should not judge others and instead extend grace and forgiveness to those who have made mistakes. It's also highlighted that the idea that Jesus came to save the sinner and not condemn them. It's a powerful message of redemption and transformation. Additionally, it could also be interpreted as a reminder that no one is above the law. Jesus does not deny the woman's actions, but rather offers her a chance to change and move on from her past. And, think of it like this. Nobody's perfect, so everybody's made mistakes. So that's a good lesson to learn, I think, as well. I know I'm not perfect, are you? Anyway, if you liked this video, I know it's a bit different than the ones I normally make, but I like to make different videos, and especially something like this because, there'll be people who don't know about it, especially these days. I was talking to somebody last week, they had no idea what I meant when I said, do you know about the Last Supper? No idea. But they know exactly what's happening on Love Island though, don't they? But anyway, I'm not getting into that one. I don't know what's happening on it because I don't watch that tripe. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you think I deserve a thumbs up, then please give me a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, then please consider subscribing. But other than that, thanks for watching and bye for now.